I know you've only ever known a world where everything is political, but I'm only 41, and most of my life I have lived where things weren't political. I want you to believe me, hear me out here. If you're young, you won't realize this, but when I was a kid, most of my life, when I was in my 20s, you could actually get up in the morning and get ready for work and turn on ESPN, and it would just be sports. Isn't that wild? It would just be sports, just highlights, and look at this dunk. And that world did exist. You would watch movies, and you would have no idea the political leanings of the cast or the director or the writers or anything. It was just a good old movie. Most of the movies, that's kind of how they were. That was the world a while ago. We don't have that world anymore. And I miss it, but we got to accept life as it is. But why don't we have that world anymore? Why? Well, we have to understand, and I know if you watch I'm Right every single night, you do understand this. We have to understand we are, one, dealing with communists. We're dealing with cultural Marxists. They're not allowed, they're left, he's liberal, he's just a Democrat. No. You're dealing with religious zealots. Religious zealots. They worship the God of destruction and misery. That's what they do. They live to destroy. That's what the communist does. And because he lives to destroy, he ends up taking over things that would never occur to you to even protect. What do you mean they're going to take over Nickelodeon and put drag queens on the screen? What? Why would they do that? It wouldn't even occur to you. But we have to understand, because we're dealing with religious zealots, it would never occur to him to not take over Nickelodeon. Communism has to be for all. It has to be for everybody. And so they inject politics, their religion, into everything. If maybe you're a devoutly religious person, maybe you're a Christian. Do you ever, as a Christian, do you ever set Jesus aside in your life? Hey, Jesus, sit this one out, all right? Hang on. Hey, Jesus, not today, please. Just sit over there. No, of course you don't. Well, if you think of the communist in that way, it'll help you understand why he does what he does. We had a little mass shooting, I shouldn't say little, any mass shooting's bad, right? A mass shooting in Colorado over the weekend. Some gay nightclub, people got shot, some dude walks in there. And immediately, Joe Biden puts out a press release and he even says in the press release, hey, we don't know what the motives are, but people have been attacking gay people for far too long. Immediately, he goes into the gay stuff, and then immediately he calls for an assault weapons ban. And I thought about this. Because again, if you're young, you won't remember this, but I'm telling you, it used to be this way. In the wake of something terrible, like a mass shooting, we didn't used to have politicians running to the microphone, getting on camera, and trying to make it political. In fact, if they had tried, there would have been all kind of public pushback, because when something terrible happens, something tragic happens, remember, that's a time to come together. That's when we have to come together and mourn. If your neighbor loses her husband, loses his wife, do you run over and knock on the door? Yeah, he was a jerk anyway. I'm glad he's gone. Of course not. You come over, you bring a meal. If they need comfort, you sit down with them, cry with them, pray with them. That's the human experience. We have to have time to mourn. But now, it has become simply the norm that every major Democrat in the country, whenever a mass shooting happens, immediately it's, hey, campaign team, all hands on deck. Nice, we got some dead people. Time to grab some guns, guys. With no thought at all to the country. They even took over, the communists in this country even took over the grieving process. And I hate Barack Obama for many, many, many reasons. I do. But I've told you this before. The thing I hate Obama for the most is Barack Obama is the one, because he's a vile street communist and always was, that's how he was raised. Barack Obama was the one who mainstreamed this stuff. For 8 years, every time there was a shooting, Obama would simply get up and say, grab the guns. Immediately, he would make it political. As President of the United States of America, he's the one who did this. Remember, this was Obama after the Pulse nightclub shooting.
Today marks the most deadly shooting in American history. The shooter was apparently armed with a handgun and a powerful assault rifle. This massacre is therefore a further reminder of how easy it is for someone to get their hands on a weapon that lets them shoot people in a school, or in a house of worship, or a movie theater, or in a nightclub. And we have to decide if that's the kind of country we want to be. And to actively do nothing is a decision as well.
50 people dead. 50 families heartbroken. Getting the phone call everyone dreads, right? You have someone you care about in your life. Maybe it's a spouse, mother, father, brother, sister. Maybe it's a child, God forbid. But we all think about it from time to time. What if you got that phone call? I've got my phone in my hands right now. What if I got that phone call during the show? Jesse, come home, there's been an accident. The phone call, everyone dreads. 50 people just got that phone call right after that mass shooting. 50 people finding out someone they love is gone. The president immediately gets up and tries to grab guns with it. He's the one who mainstreamed this. But I want you to understand something. It wasn't always this way, and it's sick, and it's evil, and it's wrong.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, The Forgotten Genocide, the first episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.